Hello, fellow YouTubers. Lego WC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And in today's video, I thought I'd go in and talk about the reveals for 2026 Wave 2 of Transformers Age of the Primes. Now, some of these figures have been known about for a few months, but I didn't want to do a video back when they were first revealed. I just figured I'd rather wait until they got officially revealed before I did a video on them, because I don't know. I like waiting until it seems like reveals are gonna slow down for a little bit, because I hate it when I put time and effort into making a reveals video, just cover all the new stuff, and then next thing I know, a bunch more things get revealed and I have more videos I have to do. So yeah, I'm not really covering leaks anymore. I'd rather talk about the official reveals. So with all that out of the way, let's go and get started. So first figure here we have is a re-release of the Prime Cliffjumper that came out in a 4-pack a couple years ago. Now, personally, I think this is a pretty good representation of Prime Cliffjumper. It's not something that I need to get, because I already have the APC Toys Red Gladiator. And while that figure is far from perfect, it's a good enough representation of Prime Cliffjumper for me. It hits pretty much all the right notes. But for a Generation style Prime Cliffjumper, I really don't think this is too bad. I think the head sculpt looks good. Biggest complaint just with the robot mode is that the headlights don't go on the lower part of the torso, because the first edition mold did that. So it'd be cool if they could have pulled that off here, but I guess I can understand not doing it now. I don't know. It's a retool of the Chase, which I think is a solid mold, but that's the only version of the mold I'm planning on having. Car mode, I think, looks really good. He's got the horns on the front and the Autobot symbol on the side. Of course, most people know all the details about this figure, but it's nice that people have a chance to get him, because now he's not a, what's the term, hostage pack? You know, when there's a certain figure in the pack that everyone's interested in, but it's packed in with a bunch of other figures, or just one other figure that nobody really cares about. Whatever the term was, that's what this guy was before. Now people have a chance to get him on his own. Single release figure. Some nice artwork on the packaging. Yeah, again, I don't need it, but I'm glad this exists. All right, our next reveal is animated Ratchet. And once again, for being an updated Generation style take on an animated or Prime design, I really don't think this is too bad. It's maybe not as rounded as an animated design would be. This is a lot more boxy. But for what it's going for, and for being just a retool of the Earthrise Hoist / Trailbreaker mold, I really don't think this is that bad. The only major details for me that are missing are the shoulder guards not being in the right place. Other than that, though, I mean, it's got the magnets. I think the head sculpt looks good. The mold lends itself well to giving him the man gut. I think this is pretty solid. Same thing with the Prime Cliffjumper. I already had the original animated Ratchet, so I'll probably be sticking with that one. But I really don't think this is a bad take on the character at all. Comes with all of his tools that are red. I don't really like the looks of that very much. But other than that, I think they look pretty good. I think the ambulance mode looks nice. It can store the tools, so that looks okay. And there he is in the box. Yeah, really not too bad looking of a figure. Not something I need, but again, I think it's a pretty solid take on the design. And Prime Smokescreen, sound like a broken record at this point. I already had the original Prime Smokescreen, so I'll probably be sticking with that. That figure has a lot of problems, but it still, for the most part, captures the overall look of Prime Smokescreen. But once again, I don't think this is too bad of an attentive Prime Smokescreen. Biggest complaint is that I wish the headlights on the chest there could fold down more to kind of fill out the torso. I think that would be nice, and again, just to make him more accurate. The door rings up. I don't know. They might be able to do that. Can't really say for sure with this figure, but I wish they could go out more behind him, because that's how the character looked in Prime. And head sculpt is I don't know, something about it just doesn't look quite right. But aside from my personal nitpicks, again, I don't think this looks too bad. He's got a nice Autobot symbol on the stomach there. He's got the 38s on the doors. The thing I didn't notice right away until recently was they actually sculpted the phase shifter onto his wrist, which is a really nice touch. Would be kind of nice if it was a removable piece, but hey, I'm all for callbacks to Prime and his wrists flip in to have guns extend, which I guess become the exhaust on the back of the car. Yeah, I think this is it's an okay looking figure. Again, I'll stick with the original, but I don't hate this. There's been way worse generations takes on Prime characters in recent years, and yeah, this really isn't that bad in my opinion. And again, this is coming from someone who loves Prime and anime. Those are like my two favorite TV shows, not just for Transformers, just of all time. So, with that in mind, I really don't think these are that bad. Car mode, I really don't have much of anything to complain about at all. It's sleek. I think it's colored well. It's a really cool looking car. So, again, not a necessity for me. Probably not a figure I'll be getting. I am excited about the repaint potential with this, though. If they did the Beast Hunters color scheme with the blue and yellow, because for whatever reason, the deluxe figure back in the Beast Hunters line didn't get that repaint. So it would be nice to see that repaint with this figure. And a Prowler Barricade would be really cool. So yeah, there's potential with this figure. Right, next up we have Powerglide. This figure I'm definitely interested in because he's the last of the 85 mini-bots that I need, and I love the 1985 mini-bots. I've been very excited about this figure, and he does not disappoint. First off, that robot mode, I think looks really good. Captures the character perfectly. Got a nice Autobot symbol on the chest there. Has some nice references that I'll get into in a minute. And then the jet mode, I really like the look of the jet mode. Also looks very accurate. Only thing I'm not too crazy about is that they have a rub symbol on the back, which is a cool idea, but I wish they'd fully committed because from what I understand, it's not an actual functioning rub symbol. So I wish they'd done that or not included it at all, but it's whatever. It's just a nitpick. One thing I love, he actually comes with the alien mask that he wore in Hoist Goes Hollywood. That is such a fun little reference. But only thing now is that we need those masks for, let's see, what was it? Warpath, Sunstreaker, Trax. I think that was it for the ones who joined Hoist. Well, I guess Hoist wore the mask too, didn't he? I don't know. I'm putting way too much thought into that silly episode anyway. But yeah, fun accessory. I appreciate it. My only concern is that just due to where the wings go at the outward leg movement, the might be a little limited. But otherwise, this is a really awesome looking figure. And another nice little Easter egg he has is that he's actually got the heart on the inside of his chest when you open the chest up, like in the Girl Who Loved Powerglide. Only thing, I don't know if what could be done about this, but it kind of takes away from the immersion when you have those big screws right there by the heart. I don't know. I don't know if anything could have been done about that, but it bugs me a little bit. But still, it's a nice reference. I appreciate that being there. Although I do acknowledge that they're most likely doing this just to make you feel better about spending almost $30 on a pretty small deluxe. There is in the packaging. Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I definitely do want to pre-order this figure. This is definitely one I want to get. Same thing with this figure. This is Swerve. I haven't talked about that mold, but I do really like the Gears mold. It has a very solid transformation and two really cool looking alt modes. And Swerve is definitely the character I like better than Gears. I don't like Gears very much. Of course, Swerve didn't do much in the G1 cartoon either. All he did was get stepped on by Trypticon. But y'all know he was awesome in More Than Meets the Eye. That's the reason that I really love this character. So I'll definitely want to get this figure. And he actually has some extra details added onto him, like the faux wheels on the shoulders, which form those little step-up things on the vehicle mode. It's a nice detail, I guess. There is in the packaging. Doing the same thing that Gears did, where there's a part of the chest that's packaged separately, and that threw a lot of people off on Gears, myself included, where they thought part of the figure was missing. It's kind of disappointing they're doing that again. Maybe they could put a warning on it or something. But whatever. I like the looks of this figure, and I'll definitely be getting him. Only thing that's a little weird is the things beside his head. I know that's just kind of due to the design, but it's a little odd. Next up, we have Liege Maximo. Now, this is definitely more inspired by the G2 comics than the Align Continuity design or the IDW 2005 design, which I kind of would have liked to have seen those. I like the Loki horns, and it fits the character. But for what this is going for, I like it. It's got a very unconventional look for a Transformers character. It looks very over the top 90s, and I appreciate it for that. Then his alt mode, it was supposed to be some sort of ancient spacecraft or something, I think. I don't know. It's not really much of anything, but I've seen much worse, not much of anything alt modes. I'm looking at you, Bumblebee Movie Soundwave. So, yeah, this is just whatever to me. Here he is in the packaging. I like the looks of this figure. I don't know if I'll pre-order him, but I definitely do want to get him because I have been collecting the primes. I've really enjoyed them so far. I do still need to go back and get Megatronus and Star Convoy. I haven't gotten those figures yet, but once I get those, I'll be all caught up on the primes. Then, of course, then I'll get this figure. And the next figure, which is Nexus Prime. Yeah, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people were not happy about this figure when he was first revealed. First off, he's based more on his Transformers 1 design than the Fun Publications design or the Align Continuity design. And I do really like that Align Continuity design, to be honest. Would have been kind of cool to see them do something with that concept. But I do also like the Fun Publications design. And hopefully we can kind of see a bit of that design in this figure in the future. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But looking at the base figure here, for what it is, I like it. I think the color scheme looks cool. He's got the Enigma of Combination. I like the head sculpt. Then looking at the jet mode, it's whatever. It's not remotely aerodynamic, but it's supposed to be some sort of ancient thingy, so whatever. But now to get into all the controversy with this figure, when he was first revealed, a lot of people were not happy because the character is supposed to be a combiner, and the figure is a Voyager and didn't have any combiner parts. And I completely get that. That is a bummer. However, we do have good news because we know that he can attach to other combiner frames. You can see in the image on the left there, he's attached to Superion's frame, and he's got some other parts attached to him, like Bruticus's arm and the lower left leg of Bruticus. And he can also attach to Silverbolt's trailer. I don't know what you call that, so I'm just going to say it's a trailer. And yeah, that's not exactly great. I probably won't be doing that. But I think it is a cool idea that he can attach to other combiner frames. And they have confirmed that throughout 2027, they're going to release combiner parts, or just other combiner robots, however they're going to do it, that are specifically designed for Nexus Prime. And taking a closer look at the combined form, see the head there, that definitely looks more like his Fun Publications design. So I suspect that's more what the figure's going to look like as more of the combiner parts come out. I'm excited about that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do, because I do think that's a really cool design. I just hope the parts can fill out the chest more. So I kind of appreciate it. It's a way to get a Prime now, but I don't have to fork over a ton of money this year to complete my 13 Primes collection. And we should be done with the 13 Primes by the end of this year because I'm pretty sure that Vector Prime is going to come out, and it's most likely just going to be a repaint, maybe just a flat out re release of the Legacy United one. But they have said that the artifacts of the 13 Primes will be able to combine together, and I suspect that Vector Prime is going to come with something that'll enable those things to combine together because otherwise I don't know how that's going to work. So I was thinking about getting Vector Prime last year when I decided to collect the 13 Primes, but boy, am I glad I didn't go back now because that would have been really disappointing to get that figure and then to find out I need to buy him again just to get something to combine all the artifacts together with. So, yeah, that really, really would have sucked. Also, here's Nexus Prime in the packaging. Looks nice. Like Liege Maximo, I don't plan to pre-order this guy, but I definitely do plan to get him. So yeah, that was the Age of the Primes 2026 Wave 2 reveals. Overall, some pretty solid stuff. Not really anything here that's bad. I'm personally not going to be getting the Cliffjumper, Ratchet, and Smokescreen just because I already have better figures of those characters. But I definitely do want to get Powerglide and Swerve. I hope to pre-order them soon. And I also want to get Liege Maximo and Nexus Prime to add to my 13 Primes collection. So yeah, I like the looks of these figures. Some stuff I'm pretty excited about. I'm looking forward to what all they have in store for this year. So that's what I think of the reveals. Let me know what you think of them down in the comments below, and tell me what your favorite reveal was. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and God bless.